I was concave, bitch. It was fucking craters in my chest with a nipple. Hi, friends. I should probably take off my sweatshirt since this is a video about my boobs. Girl! Hi, friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Annalise, and today we're going to be talking about tits. My first videos on this channel were documenting my boob job. I have been wanting boob jobs since I knew what boobs were when I went through puberty, and I was like, okay, still don't have them. I vlogged every day for the first week, then I did like a month update, and then I did a year update. I think it's time for like a whole overview of the process now that I'm through it all. It's been over 2 years. I got them done in October 2015, my 21st birthday present to myself. So I'll kind of glaze over what I got, why I got what I got, how my recovery was, kind of how the whole process was, and then what has happened over the past couple of years, because I think I have a kind of unique take on what happened since I started off 2015 at about 60 pounds because I had an eating disorder. If you're new here, I had an eating disorder called ARFID. My goal for myself was that I wanted to be 100 pounds by my birthday, and if I did that, I would reward myself with the boobs. By my birthday, I wasn't quite 100 pounds. I would say I was probably high 80s, low 90s. I still was pretty dead set on getting them, and I was still really proud of myself for putting in the work that I had. But the thing is, I was still underweight when I got them. Alright, so we'll start with, I guess, the consultation process. I saw 7 different plastic surgeons in Reno, Nevada, where I was living. A lot of people will go to Reno to get their boobs done, actually. The first consultation that I went to was actually the one that I ended up choosing, so I went to 7 and ended up going to the first one just because they treated me the best. They seemed like they knew the most. The doctor was a young, attractive... Well, that sounds bad. That sounds like I picked it just because it was a DILF. No. He was like a young, attractive, normal person, whereas all the other surgeons were like really old men that didn't really understand what look I wanted. I don't know, it didn't feel right, and I was treated really well at this first place. So I went to Dr. Janiga in Reno. I'm on my way to my pre-op appointment. And then we just talked about kind of what was going to happen on the day of surgery, everything I already pretty much knew. So out of all 7 places that I went to, Dr. Janiga was actually the most expensive. What I ended up getting, it would have been $7,200, whereas the other ones were more around like $6,000. But I did talk to them and I said, look, I feel so comfortable here. I went to a bunch of other different places. The only issue is you're charging about $1,200 more, and so they worked out a deal with me and I paid $6,800, so they took $400 off. I knew I wanted silicone, I didn't want saline, and the reason for that was, I even knew this before I went into the consultations and they told me this, that if I had gotten saline personally, because I'm so small, and not only like at that time, like still today, even now I'm 110 pounds, I have like a very narrow rib cage and chest, like I'm still only 30 inches around. Or my bra size is 30. He said that if I had went with saline, then you would be able to see the ripples because my skin would be pulled so tight, because saline is just salt water, that you would be able to see the ripples in it, whereas silicone is just, it's not moving, girl. The thing that I worried about was the fact that you're technically supposed to be 22 in order to get silicone, which I think is so random. I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind that, because I feel like 21 would make sense. 22 seems kind of random, but as I said, I had just turned 21, and especially when I went to my consultation in June, I was only 20. So I was a little concerned that they were going to say no, but he said as long as I signed a waiver saying that I knew, like, it's not like a law, it's just highly recommended like by the FDA or the the Board of Plastic Surgeons. They are not held liable if whatever happens because I got them done before I was 22, which I was fine with because I wanted them titties, girl. I'll just talk about the consultation of the place that I ended up going to because that was actually the best consultation. They had a 3D like machine where the girl took photos of me naked with just like my chest up, and then they would do simulated, like this is what this many cc's would look like, this many cc's at like all angles, and it was so cool and so weird. And they measured you, and so when I went in there, I kind of already knew that I couldn't just be like, hey, I want to be like a C cup or I want to be a D cup. I knew that I would need to figure out the amount of cc's I needed because cc's only add to the boobs that you already have. So my starting boob size was pretty much nothing. See, I thought for sure I was like a AAA because I just always thought like I have no boobs, like I just got nipples. My left boob was a AAA, my right boob was technically measuring as an A, which is, I do know that my right boob is bigger, but that shocked me. Like, that was shocking to me. My technical bra size that they gave me before was a 28 AA, so that's very small. And talking through the cc's that I would want in order to achieve the size that I wanted, basically the doctors had said that since I was so small and I am so small, that 250 cc's or even 225 cc's would make a huge difference. Would probably land me around a C cup or even a D cup. And at first I was like, that does not seem like very much, because my oldest sister had a boob job and she's very small as well, and she had 500 cc's and her boobs turned out to be about the size that mine are now, and she had bigger boobs to start with. So I was like, that I don't feel like that's gonna do anything, you know. Then he said, I don't think we could honestly fit any more than that inside of there, because not only are you small, but you have little skin there and you also have some chest muscles. I, long story short, in the end opted for high profile because anything else would have been ridiculous. Typically people will get moderate profile because it looks more natural, but because I am narrow, like I said, moderate profile would have like just stuck out and not up like they are now. I'm currently wearing a bandeau. It's not padded at all. If I take this off, my boobs literally don't move. Like, if you see that, like, this is how they just are. If I want to push them up, I can push them up. But I opted for high profile, and I knew I wanted silicone. I knew I wanted under the muscle, which also means a longer recovery time. Oh, I went under my boobs. I can show you the scars. They're literally so tiny. First of all, I planned on getting the surgery done in December, right after I graduated, which thank God I didn't, because right after I graduated I got dumped and had to move away from Reno. I remember one day the lady emailed me and she was like, hey, we just had an opening. It's on October 6th. Like, are you ready? And this was like a couple days after my birthday, which is September 24th, and I was like, yes, like, I'm ready, do it now. And at this time I was in my last semester of college, full-time, working full-time, 8 to 5, the marketing specialist. I was very busy, but I was like, dude, yeah, schedule me. I want them titties. On the day of surgery, what is that? Oh, the surgery's over. I feel like there's an elephant sitting on my chest. And there's a lady working there with a Halloween sweater on, and I told her I liked her Christmas sweater. Yeah, so this is what it's looking like right now. The morning of surgery, woke up, showered. My boyfriend at the time drove me to the surgery center. Surgery was scheduled for 10, and then it ended up, they started at 8. So it was way quicker than I thought, but I was kind of happy about that. I just remember them literally being like, okay, the anesthesiologist is coming, and then we're gonna just start, and I was like, okay. Like, I don't know, the last thing I remember was just looking at this old man's face who was administering drugs into my body and being like, this is it. Woke up very confused, very disoriented, wondering why an elephant was sitting on my chest. It hurt more and it was more uncomfortable than I expected, and I remember being awake for like 30 minutes, but I couldn't really move or do anything. I couldn't like signal to anyone that I was awake, and I could hear people talking about me, which I've experienced before in surgeries, so I was kind of used to that. And then I finally was able to like move. They brought my boyfriend in. I like tried looking down at my chest, but I had a gown on. All I could see was just like whoop. And then they brought me into a recovery room where they gave me like snacks and like juice, and we just talked. I talked to my boyfriend, he sent photos of me to my dad, and my dad was like, oh my goodness. I was prescribed an antibiotic just in case, and also pain meds. That first day was the worst day for me. It was so painful. I remember trying to like lay down and watch Emperor's New Groove in our bed, and I was like screaming, crying. I was in a lot of pain for a long time. Give me like 30 seconds here, man. It was in really bad pain, and I was like crying a lot because the pain meds didn't do anything. But my slave has been helping me. And I watched Emperor's New Groove, kind of, and then I fell asleep. But it was super, super painful. Oh, and let me explain why it was so painful. So when you get your boobs done and then you go to the recovery room, they hand you this little card, which I will go get. I carry this thing with me everywhere. It's like my little party trick. Apparently it's a tracked card, and it's your implant ID card. Anyway, it basically just tells you what you got on your boobs. So I woke up, keep in mind we had talked about either, like I said, I really want 250, and he said, okay, I'll push for 250, but I'm just letting you know that 225 is probably all we're gonna be able to fit in there. So I woke up and the lady hands me this card and didn't really say anything, and I'm just like groggily looking at it, and I'm like, what? Can you see that? I woke up from this surgery with 350 cc's of boob. And I was like, what? Like, I asked the nurse to bring the doctor in, which normally you don't see him the first day. You'll come back and see him in the next few days for your checkup. And I'm like, so, like 350 cc's, what? And he was like, yeah, I was very surprised when I sat you up and tried to see how much I could fit in. I was very surprised that I was able to fit in 350 cc's, and I knew that you would be very happy with the way that they looked. If I did less, you would be upset that they aren't bigger. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, shit, I hope you're not like huge. And when I told my mom that, she was like, you told me you were gonna get 250 and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, like, I literally had no idea. I was so glad that he was able to get more, because if they were any smaller than this, I would have been very upset. However, it looks super weird when you first get them done. I literally looked like Frankenboob. Yeah, they look like Frankenboob. They're kind of square. And actually, I've never seen anyone else's look this way, so I think it was because I was so small that mine looked this way, but they were literally squares and they were literally up here. They kind of looked small, pyramid shaped. So like square, but like they didn't look right, and I was freaked out for the first day and the second day. Every single day they would drop more and more and more and like be more shaped as they meshed with my actual tissue. And this is what they look like right now.
What are you doing?
I'm vlogging.
What are you doing?
This is what they look like. I have boobs. I feel
Maverick in it. Give Maverick. Hi. Hi. Get wiener.
This is not relevant to boobs.
Hi. 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 Slide.
I would say they kept dropping and fluffing for the next 6 months. At the 6-month point, I was like, okay, this is like what they are. This is what they look like. And that probably would have been the case had I not ended up gaining weight and getting to a healthy weight. Up until like April of this year, I'm not gonna lie, they looked very fake, and they looked too big for my frame, too big for my body. Was my 6-month boob anniversary. So it's been 6 months since I got them done. I haven't updated you guys since I think a month post-op. They're mostly fully dropped now. Now I love them. They are squishy. They feel like normal boobs. This is them. I knew it because people would tell me, but I just liked that I had boobs, you know what I mean? But once I gained weight and I actually gained boob, I know I've gained boob because they're super squishy now. They literally feel like real boobs. Like, anyone that's ever touched them has told me, like, this actually feels like a real boob. Like, they used to be so hard, and like you could see, like, you can obviously see side boob, but you could see like the shape of the implant. And since I got it under the muscle, I had this weird, it's gone now because I've actually gained weight and gained boob, I had this weird line right here, and I remember freaking out and emailing my doctor and being like, something's wrong, like the implant is like separating or something. And he was like, it's probably just your muscle showing above the implant. Because I got mine under the muscle, it was like the implant, and then because I was so skinny and didn't have any body fat, any boob fat, you could see my muscle. And I figured they would have to put a little bit more in this boob because it was smaller, but I guess since my boobs were so small, it didn't really matter. I still think my left boob is a little bit smaller, but nothing crazy. So I got smooth, round, high profile, Mentor Memory Gel breast implants. 350 cc's in each boob. As far as the recovery process, I went back to work sooner than I was supposed to. Tomorrow will be a week post-op, but I just wanted to pop in and say that I'm on my way back to work for the first day. Last night was the first night I like was uncomfortable and couldn't sleep, so I don't know. I feel like it's getting worse, to be honest. So I'm 1 week post-op officially. I'm going to film my 1 week post-op after work and after class, so tonight. But I had to vlog right now because I'm actually wearing makeup. Just because I needed to go back to work and also school. I was like still going to school like 4 days after this and work 6 days after this. However, as far as recovery goes, I don't do well with painkillers, so I took those hard painkillers, the Norco, on the first day, and after that I stopped. So basically I kind of just dealt with the pain. Which they said I could stop after like 5 days, and it's only been like 2, but I really just don't like taking pain meds. It wasn't even really pain, it's just like an extreme tightness, extreme headiness. Like, driving was so weird. Even still, doing the lat pull down feels weird, and I still can't do pull-ups. Even though I have the strength for them, I can't. Like, it feels too weird. And I knew that was a risk and whatever. On Tuesday, it'll be 2 months post-op. Also, as far as the gym goes, a lot of people that get their boobs done are into fitness and into whatever, and they're like so eager to get back into the gym after, right? Because they get so anxious about like, oh, I'm gonna gain so much weight. Like, bitch, you just spent however much you spent, personally like $7,000 on boobs, and you're gonna let your anxiety about gaining a pound, which isn't even fat, it's just water weight, make you go and potentially ruin your boobs or give you a heart attack or a blood clot. Like, no. It makes me so mad when people are like, oh my god, got my boobs done a week ago and I'm not cleared to do cardio yet, but I'm gonna go do it anyway. Like, you're so stupid. You paid such good money for these things. Like, let them heal and then get back to the gym. I technically was cleared for cardio after 2 weeks, but I didn't do cardio. And then I was cleared for light legs at 3 weeks. I waited until 4 weeks though. Technically cleared for everything at 6 weeks, but I still felt weird doing upper body. Once I started gaining, like, getting back to my healthy weight, I had already had them for like a year and a half, so it was like they just started to look so good, and now they look very natural. There is not like a single person, unless they're looking at one of my like before and after photos on Instagram, that's like, why you clearly have fake tits, because they look and feel super real. They're literally like, I don't know, they're squishy and stuff like that. So as far as what size I measure as now, number one, I never wear real bras, a bandeau, a sports bra, or no bra. I haven't been measured since 2 months after I got them done. I did get measured at Victoria's Secret. They said I was a 30 double D, which, let me tell you, you cannot find that size anywhere. So I don't know why they told me I was that size, because you literally can't find it. Before, they had really dropped and fluffed, so it wasn't accurate. Told me that I was a 30 double D or triple D, but that doesn't exist in their sizes, so they told me to just try out a 32 double D. And at the time it fit. However, I still have that bra that I bought on that day, and I tried to wear it last week when Courtney was here. It doesn't fit anymore. Like, my nipples shows. So I know that they've grown and also like just like settled. I just decided get them measured again today and see what size I am, because I have a feeling they're gonna tell me I'm like a 32E. I don't think that's a thing though. I think they just go straight to F. The reason that I was inspired to make this video was because of my bra not fitting like last week, and I was like, well, like I should do an update because a lot has changed since I've gained weight. In like preparing to make this video, I was like, let's go watch some videos on YouTube of people updating on their breast augmentations after like 2+ years. And every single video I watched, even the videos that I used to watch when I was in the process of getting, like before getting them done and while I was going through recovery, every single video, the person will put in a disclaimer and be like, just so you know, I'm not doing this for anyone but myself, which, yes, I do agree with that part. I only did this for myself. However, they go on to say, it's not about because I didn't feel sexy, it's not because I wanted to look different, it's not because I wanted to look sexier to men, like I only did this for me. And that is just a flat out lie. Like, come on bitch, you're not gonna spend 7 grand on boobs unless you're getting them to look better and feel better in yourself. I just don't like that disclaimer because it's a lie. No one gets a boob job with one of the reasons not being I want to look better, I want to look more proportionate. If I had been in solitude for my whole life in a room by my damn self and I hadn't been exposed to society and standards and norms, do you think I would be like, yes, put some silicone in my chest area? No, it's because we see it all over the place. We've seen it for so long now. Big boobs are desirable. They look good. They make you look more proportionate. Like, big boobs, small waist, wide hips, big butt. Like, is that not like... Anyway, it just irks me when I hear, I'm just gonna call her out right now because I don't really give a fuck. I watched Heidi Summer's video and she was like, I got them done for me and no one else. Okay, agree, same. Then she said, I didn't do it because I wanted to feel sexier or because I was insecure. I liked the way I was before. I didn't do it so that I would look more womanly or so that I would look more proportionate. Like, bitch, why did you do it then? Stop lying. That's the reason. There's no health benefits to getting a boob job. In fact, there's more risks. Like, you do it for some sort of vain purpose, to feel more confident, to look sexier, even if it's just for yourself. Like, and it's fine. Like, who fucking cares? Yes, I got them for myself because when I look at myself naked, I'm like, damn, I look hot. I'm so confident with my body now. with boobs, whereas before I was not. I was concave, bitch. It was fucking craters in my chest with a nipple. I did love myself before. However, I was insecure as fuck. I wouldn't have got boobs if I wasn't insecure about having small boobs. I wouldn't have got them for any other reason other than I want to look more societally acceptable, feel more confident, blah blah blah. I don't need boobs. They go against a lot of my beliefs on what's beautiful and what's not, but bitch, who cares? It's my body, it's your body, it's her body, it's his body. We can all do whatever we want to our bodies. The problem lies in my butt's real. Like, no, it's not real, sister. Tell people that it's fake. Tell people that your body's not naturally gonna look like that. Anyway, I could rant about this for days, but I'm gonna stop because it is for vanity. You don't get a boob job because it's gonna make you like more energetic or like I mean, it might because you're confident, but like it's because you're confident and less insecure, you know? Dare someone to challenge me on that. I dare someone who's had a boob job or considering to get a boob job to tell me a reason other than they want to look better, they want to look more proportionate, they want to feel more confident. Come at me, bitch. Try me. You're not gonna find one. And that even goes for, respectfully, people that have had breast cancer and have lost a boob, and they usually opt to get a breast implant or 2 breast implants because it makes them feel more womanly, it makes them feel better, it makes them feel confident. There's nothing wrong with those things. Those are the reasons that I got them. I believe that those are the reasons that most people get them. I believe that some people actually do get them for other people and for more opportunities and for blah blah blah. But if you're gonna sit there and say that you didn't get your boobs done or you didn't get a certain cosmetic procedure to feel more confident, feel sexier to yourself or others, it's a lie, girl. It's a lie. Anyway, that's my little spiel on that. Leave your comments down below. Leave whatever you want down below. I don't give a fuck. I give a lot of fucks, actually. Don't. I should have been more over here like this. Completely in the mat. Okay, bye.